The storm tore across the cliffs like the world itself was falling apart. Rain slashed sideways, whipping the faces of the prehistoric tribe as they stood at the edge of the black, churning ocean. Their hands gripped bone spears and jagged stones, but none of it mattered against the power they were about to awaken. The tribe's leader raised his arms high, chanting the ancient call of the deep thunder, a ritual passed down for generations. It wasn't a prayer. It was a command, a summons to something older than the jungle, older than Kong himself. Behind them, the torches flickered and smoked, casting eerie shadows across their scarred, fur-covered bodies. The wind carried the sound of their chants across the cliffs and into the storm, and for a heartbeat, the ocean paused, as if it too was listening. From the jungle, Kong watched. Massive, silent, black as midnight, he stepped through the trees like a shadow made of muscle. His eyes, glowing with fury, followed every movement of the tribe. He didn't charge. He didn't roar. He waited. He knew something was coming. And then the ocean answered. Waves pulled back unnaturally, revealing jagged rocks and deep trenches that should not exist. The tribe froze. Kong stiffened. Lightning illuminated a massive dorsal spine cutting through the black water, then another, until a towering figure emerged. The sea boiled and crashed as Godzilla rose from the depths, his glowing blue dorsal fins lighting the storm. The tribe's leader fell to his knees in awe, thinking their ritual had summoned a savior. But Kong growled low and sharp, not out of fear, but recognition. He wasn't looking at prey. He was looking at a rival, a force as massive, as unstoppable, and as dangerous as himself. And somewhere deep in the storm, the tribe realized their weapon might not fight for them, but against them. Kong's fists clenched, his chest rose with each breath, and the stormy horizon burned with the first clash of titans yet to come. Kong's massive eyes stayed locked on the glowing water, his chest rising and falling like the drum of war itself. Every step he took toward the cliff edge sent vibrations through the rocky terrain, forcing the prehistoric humans to brace themselves against the wind and rain. The ocean in front of them churned violently, glowing with an unnatural blue light as though the sea itself was alive, reacting to the tribe's ritual. A massive shadow moved beneath the surface, each ripple carrying an ominous sense of power. Kong's nostrils flared. He could smell it. He could feel it. Something gigantic, something older than the jungle, had answered the tribe's call. Lightning flashed across the stormy sky, illuminating a jagged dorsal fin cutting through the black water. The tribe froze, their chants faltering for the first time. Fear gripped them in a way no jungle predator ever had. Then, another spine emerged, larger than any tree they had ever seen. The water began to rise like a living wall, waves climbing higher and higher, battering the cliffs. Kong growled low in warning, chest vibrating with every sound the ocean made. The tribe's leader stepped forward, raising his bloody dagger in defiance, chanting louder, believing they could control this creature. But Kong's growl deepened, and a shiver of recognition passed through him. This was no ordinary beast. This was the deep thunder, the monster of legend, the one they whispered about in the oldest cave drawings. The waves exploded as the creature finally revealed its form. A colossal shape, massive beyond imagination, scales shimmering with a strange, electric blue glow. The ocean boiled around it, sending spray and foam across the cliffs. Kong tightened his fists, crouching low, readying for the confrontation. The tribe stumbled backward, some screaming, others frozen in awe. They had hoped to summon a protector to fight Kong for them, but now they realized the truth. They had awakened a force that even Kong might struggle to face. The storm roared louder, matching the pulsing energy radiating from the ocean. Kong's growl met the deep rumble of the awakened titan beneath the waves, a sound so heavy it seemed to shake the earth itself. The final moments of the episode were pure tension. The tribe watched in terrified amazement as the water parted and the ocean-born giant rose, revealing massive eyes glowing in the storm. Kong stepped closer to the cliff edge, muscles tense, for plastered by rain, his roar echoing across the tempest, signaling the start of an epic confrontation. The tribe realized, too late, that they had not summoned a savior. They had summoned a force of nature, and the coming battle would change the jungle, the cliffs, and their very survival forever. The storm raged harder as Kong moved along the cliff, muscles taut, eyes locked on the glowing waves. Every footstep made the rocks shudder beneath him, sending sprays of rainwater and shards of stone tumbling down toward the foaming sea. The ape-like humans clung to the jagged cliffs, chanting louder now, as if their combined voices could guide the ancient creature from the depths. But even from here, Kong could sense the immense energy emanating from beneath the water. His chest heaved, nostrils flaring, every instinct screaming that this wasn't just another jungle beast. This was something far older, far larger, and far deadlier than anything he had faced before. Suddenly, the ocean erupted. A massive shadow surged upward, sending a wall of spray high into the stormy sky. Lightning illuminated a row of jagged spines cutting through the churning water. The ape-like humans screamed, some in fear, others in awe, as the glowing blue light of the creature's dorsal fins reflected in their wide eyes. Kong let out a deafening roar, a mixture of challenge and recognition. He wasn't just facing a rival, he was sensing a force that could match or even surpass his own power. The tribe realized, in that instant, that the ritual had awakened something uncontrollable. What they had intended as a weapon, they were now witnessing as a potential apocalypse. Kong crouched, preparing to leap, his massive arms digging into the wet rock for leverage. The creature beneath the waves responded with a deep, resonant growl that shook the cliffside and sent the humans sprawling. The storm and the ocean seemed to fuse into one colossal entity, amplifying the tension. Sparks of blue energy danced along the water's surface, and the ape-like humans stumbled backward, chanting desperately, unsure if they had summoned a savior or a monster. Kong's eyes narrowed. He didn't attack yet. He was calculating, sensing, waiting for the moment to strike. But even he could feel the ocean-born titan's raw energy, an undeniable presence that demanded respect. As the waves crashed higher, a massive head broke the surface, water cascading off jagged scales. The storm reflected in its glowing eyes, electric blue energy rippling across its back. The ape-like humans froze completely, their chants cutting off mid-cry. Kong stepped forward, fists clenched, chest heaving, and the cliff seemed to tremble under his weight. The first real confrontation was only moments away, and the jungle, the cliffs, and even the storm itself seemed to hold its breath. The tribe realized, in horror and fascination, that they had unleashed a battle of titans, and they were standing in the front row of a war they could barely comprehend.